Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast with your hosts, Reese Downing and Jacob Workman.
What's going on, guys? It is TNT Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast, NFL edition, week 3 picks. With me, as always, is the fine citizen and co-host, Mr. Jacob Workman. Jake, how's it going, brother?
Everything's good. What's going on?
Not too much, man. Had another good week of games, both in college and NFL. It's a little crazy that we're moving so quickly into week 3. Seems like the first 2 weeks kind of flew by here. But yeah, it's been a good set of games the first 2 weeks. So hopefully we can keep it rolling here. Let's take a quick look at week 2 results. I finished up at 9-7, missed my lock, hit my dog. Jake finished up at 8-8, hit his lock and missed his dog. We got a couple different games that we're going to cover here. We're going to start off with my boys in Dallas. The Cowboys beat the New York Giants 40-37 in overtime. Dak Prescott finished 38-52 for 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. A little bit of a problem with that pick. If you watch the replay, he trapped that, but whatever. Russell Wilson finished 30-41 for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. That Eberflus zone defense, if that's what the Giants are going to do to Dallas, that's going to cause some problems. We did sign Jadeveon Clowney to help with the pass rush. Either way, that was a little bit of a rough game. This game really went back and forth throughout. The Giants went into the second quarter up 6-0 after a slew of offensive penalties that continued stalling drives. They had to remove their one of their linemen because he had 4 flags on him in the first series. Both teams traded blows throughout, though. It looked like Dallas had the game locked up with 52 seconds left on a 6-yard touchdown pass from Dak to George Pickens. But the Giants stepped onto the field, and Russell Wilson tossed a 48-year-old bomb to Malik Neighbors in the end zone for the Giants to take the lead with 25 seconds left. Dallas then stepped back on the field and put them in a position to tie the game behind the leg of Brandon Aubrey, who proceeded to drill a 64-yarder to send the game into overtime. Had a couple different possessions in overtime, and then Brandon Aubrey yet again saved the Cowboys, stepped up and hit a 46-yarder as time expired to win the game. Jake, what were your thoughts on the matchup there?
Yeah, I mean, the defense of the Cowboys obviously is a concern. I think we've got it now that Tucker is gone. I think Aubrey's probably the best kicker in the NFL. He's a legit weapon for that team. Russell Wilson for 450. That's something. And they were some deep bombs, moon balls that he typically throws. It was just overall, I don't know if you would say surprising game, but because I think both teams are kind of, I know you don't want to hear this, but I think both of these teams are kind of around the same spot, honestly. I think the Giants are a little better than people think, and I think the Cowboys are a little worse than some people think too. But I don't know. It was a nice win at home. It was good for them to rebound, get the kick to tie it, go to overtime, and end up winning it. For a minute, I thought we were going to have a tie. It looked like we were about to go to a tie.
Yeah, well, I mean, to your point, Brandon Aubrey is a legitimate weapon for this team. He is just ridiculously consistent. We're lucky to have him on because he's definitely saved. Yeah. And deep. Yeah. I mean, like 60 plus yard field goals. Like when Aubrey steps up, like I'm not that concerned about it. And he's typically drilling him like right down the middle. So hopefully he can maintain that level of consistency. I mean, defense has some legitimate problems. Russell Wilson picked that zone defense apart the entire game, and we never really made any adjustments. Now, again, the pass rush is lacking for obvious reasons. I don't think Jadeveon Clowney is going to, quote unquote, solve the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's going to be better than what we have right now, but it's still a problem. Eberflus is going to have to make some adjustments. We're going to have to put some more pressure on quarterbacks, especially through the blitz, if the pass rush is going to be a problem with just 4 down linemen. Donovan Wilson, did not have a great game. Taxis and I were talking back and forth throughout that game. There were multiple times where, the primary example, the last play that they scored in the fourth quarter before we turned around and kicked the field goal to tie it, we were running what looked like single high safety when they needed a score in order to win the game. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get to at least cover 2 safeties in front of the end zone to stop them from scoring. Like, I just there's a lot of things that need to be adjusted. I did like the post-game speech from Brian Schottenheimer. I was very critical of him when he got hired because he has no coaching experience at the head coaching level. He's got the locker room better together than what I ever really saw with McCarthy. So whether or not that transitions into wins or not, like I do like the fact that Schottenheimer's been able to get some energy into the clubhouse, so to speak. So Dallas is traveling to Chicago. We'll talk about that game here in a bit. I'm a little surprised by that line. But we will keep it rolling here. Next up, Indianapolis Colts did it again, beat the Denver Broncos 29-28. Daniel Jones, the second rated fantasy quarterback in the NFL right now, which is a little crazy, 23 of 34 for 316 and a touchdown. Bo Nix finished 22 of 30 for 206, 3 touchdowns and an interception. This game also went back and forth throughout. Denver was up 28-26 with 8:33 left in the game. The Colts lined up for a 60-yard field goal as time expired, and we're going to go ahead and roll the clip here and just watch this through.
Snap. Sanchez will hold. And the kick is no good! Denver's going to win! Denver's going to win!
Oh, is there a penalty down in the middle of the field? Right by the center.
Oh, my goodness.
They must have touched the center because the center, let's see. Rhodes is saying that he was hit. At least that's what he's signaling to the sideline.
It's against Denver. It is against Denver.
Personal foul, leverage, defense number 96.
That's a huge. Oh my goodness. That is a huge
Automatic
penalty.
first down.
Well, it's right in the middle here. You see the leverage jumping over the top. That's where the penalty was called, and that's not a little penalty. That's 15-yard penalty.
Now it is a 45-yard field goal with no time left. This for the win. Spencer Schrader. It's good, and the Colts have won.
What a win for the Colts, but you know the Broncos are going to have some questions about that call.
So a couple things here. The first thing I wanted to point out, and I forgot to do it before you started play, but if you watch that clip back on Twitter or whatever, watch Blue just that field goal. The first reaction when they miss is great, and then the second one is even better. That I love him as mascot.
He even had a great celebration in the game too. When the defense, I think, had a pick and they put the ball in his shirt, and they both did the belly dance.
Yeah, he's great. So the ref's quote was, "As a defender, you're not allowed to place your hand on an opponent or teammate. Push off to propel yourself into the air to block a kick." In this case, Tillman came across the line to the right guard. He puts his hand on the right guard and pushed him off to elevate himself in order to block the kick. You're not allowed to do that. I don't know how much elevation that guy got on that, but I mean, credit to the Colts for hanging in there. Indy's 2-0.
I mean, it's something that they call. I mean, they're trying to protect the center on those plays, and since we kind of dogged on them a little bit in the college episode, let's give them one little thing here.
Get out of here! Denver is trash. Oh, let's ride, you fucking the Broncos. Pardon my French.
Yeah, that was a shout out to Carter because unfortunately their mighty Irish fell to A&M over the weekend. But yeah, Colts are 2-0. They hit the road this week to go play an in-division opponent in the Titans. What are your thoughts on where Indy's at right now? They came into the season ranked 25th in strength of schedule, so I mean they're well positioned to be at the top of the AFC South.
Well, I mean, in our preview episode, I had them finishing second in the division and almost making the playoffs. I'm not that surprised by it, honestly. I think Daniel Jones is good for them. I think they're a good team, and their schedule is not that tough. That division sucks, so I mean, I think it sets up for them to be good. Starting 2-0 is huge. just got to keep it going. And I think Jones's version of the offense compared to AR's version of the offense is drastically different. Jones can still hit deep passes and still is a very big weapon on the run where, yeah, AR can run a little bit, but he also is going to get hurt if he gets hit, and he can't throw the ball accurately at all. So there's a big difference. Tyler Warren's been a great addition to the team, and the defense has been good. I'm kind of big on the Colts. I think that they can honestly win this division.
Yeah, I mean, and let's not forget the resurgence of Jonathan Taylor, because he is playing as one of the best running backs in the league right now. So we will talk about the Colts-Titans game here shortly. Let's move on to the third and final game. Jake's Detroit Lions blew out the Chicago Bears 52-21. Jared Goff, 23 of 28 for 334 and 5 touchdowns. Caleb Williams, 19 of 30 for 207, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Detroit scored on their first possession, and yet again, the Bears had a great first drive, capping it off with a 28-yard touchdown pass to Rome Odunze. But that was pretty much it. Detroit went on to lay 52 on the board, including a 4-yard touchdown pass off of a 4th down play in the red zone to Amon-Ra St. Brown when the Lions were already up 45-21. That's so prototypical MCDC. I love
That's what we do.
Detroit moves to 1-1, heads to Baltimore to take on the Ravens in week 3. Chicago, as we talked about, they are heading home to play an afternoon matchup against the Cowboys. Jake, what were your thoughts on the game, and how did it feel to lay a little bit of a beat down on Benedict? He did not look happy after that 4th and goal touchdown.
I mean, it was a statement game. That's what was expected. Him coming back to Ford Field, he got booed the second he walked on the field, even in pregame. The team wanted to beat his ass. And we came out and we did what we do. That looked like the Lions offense. Goff started, it wasn't that great. He didn't start that great. I don't remember the exact numbers. Might have been like 4 of 8, 4 of 9 or something. But then he went like 15 of 15 for 2 something and 3 touchdowns. It was perfect, honestly. Everyone got in what they wanted to do. I even ran the defense ran the stumble bump, play yes. Ben Johnson, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was too thrilled, but in the post-game press conference, they did ask him about it, and he was like, I mean, what do you want him to do? Like, what's the difference kicking a field goal and going for it at that point? And that's what they've always done, so that's what they're going to do. I don't know. I think the bigger question is Caleb has some issues, I think. The Bears are, I hate to say it, but I think that they might be the worst team in the division again.
Yeah. Well, that's saying something too, because Minnesota doesn't look that great either.
I hate Minnesota too.
Caleb Williams, man, I nenever thought that Ben Johnson was going to be able to fix everything in Chicago.
I mean, it's going to take time too. Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb, there's times when Caleb's on the field where I'm like, that's the Caleb Johnson that we watched play, or Caleb Williams that we watched play in college. And then there's times where I'm like, what is going on? Hopefully Ben can, not for you, but as far as they're concerned, hopefully Ben can right the ship. We'll see what happens with Chicago, but it does not look like a good year for them after all the buzz and hype that they had coming into the season.
Yeah, Odunze had a great game, though. I mean, obviously, I love Caleb and I love Odunze. Odunze had a great game. He had 2 touchdowns. He was very tough to cover.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's run through some quick news here before we get to plays of the week. For those of you who did not see the game, Cincinnati's Joe Burrow got injured. He has been placed on IR. He's going to be out for at least the next 3 months with a grade 3 turf toe. Jake Browning will once again step in to lead the Bengal offense through at least mid-December. The Bengals did also sign Brett Ripon to the active roster. They also signed Sean Clifford, Mike White to the practice squad. So there's some movement going on there in Cincy. Rookie defensive end Shamar Stewart also suffered a sprained ankle. He's likely out for their week 3 matchup against the Vikings. Speaking of the Vikings, JJ McCarthy is going to be out at least 2 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Aaron Jones is going to be out as well with a hamstring injury. Commanders, Jaden Daniels is dealing with a knee sprain. He is in question for their week 3 matchup against the Raiders. I don't think this was out yet when we were on the show last week, but Austin Eckler is being placed on season-ending IR. He's got a torn Achilles from last week's game. Cowboys center Cooper Beebe, this is rough. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Talked about this briefly, but the Cowboys did, like 5 minutes after the game was over, after Jerry watched that pass rush, sign Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year deal. So it sounds like Clowney is actually going to play this week, which is a little bit surprising, but I mean, all he needs to do is go after the quarterback. It can't be worse than what we've got right now. Panthers right guard Robert Hunt is going on season-ending IR after suffering a torn biceps in Sunday's loss versus Arizona. And finally, Tampa Bay's defensive tackle Kalijah Kancey also suffered a torn pectoral muscle in last night's win over the Texans. He will be out for the rest of the year. I wish we would have saved the clip when Baker walked up to the podium last night right after the game, and he just took a big sigh and just went, yes. They stole that win in Houston. That was a pretty good game there at the finish. All right, before we get into our week 3 picks, let's go through plays of the week. Let's kick things off here with the Los Angeles Rams and Mr. Puka Nacua running a little 4th and 1 action.
Nacua shifting. They'll give it to him, and he's got it, and then some. Nacua is going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Rams.
Love it. That was a nice little play breaking out of that. He could have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage, ended up with a touchdown catch or a touchdown run. Next up, we have A.M. Manor. We've got a couple clips here from the Tennessee Titans game, but let's take a look at this catch that led up to the touchdown that we're going to look at after.
Could get hangry. Ward. Oh, nice touch. Wow. He drops it in the bucket. A.M. Manor. A one-arm grab for the first down. Wow! What a catch by Io Manor on the sideline. What a ball by Cam Ward.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I watched him at Stanford quite a bit, and I always thought his last name was Io Manor. So I'm almost confident that announcer might be wrong because I watched him for a lot in college, and it was never that. So.
Well, I mean, maybe I'll go with you if you're the one who was watching it. I was going to say, like, I thought it was Io Manor, and then I was like, that's the Titans broadcast, right? So, like, you would think that they would have gotten it correct, but maybe not.
Well, I mean, it's the CBS guys, but that guy was the star of my college fantasy team last year, so he was.
Well, let's stick with this Titans matchup and watch this Cam Ward touchdown pass to Io Manor.
Seconds to play. Second quarter. Ward looking. Looping out of trouble. Trying to set up receivers. He's going to throw against his body to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Spectacular. Io Manor. Cam Ward, welcome to Nashville. Wow. What a play by Cam Ward. End of the half. He's going to scramble around, going to use his legs, buy himself some time. And he's going to look all the way across. The one thing they always tell you not to do, don't throw across your body, but he's going to throw across the...
Yeah, so 2 things. One,
I was getting ready to say Jared
was the biggest hold of all time. Yeah. Jesus Christ, call the hold. And second, that was a video game, like rolled to the sideline, chucked it all the way back across the goddamn field, and then he caught it.
Yeah, that's a controller flip is what that is, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, at a bare minimum, the Tennessee Titans fans are getting a decent product to watch. You know, if that would have been Will Levis, he would have thrown the ball off of the defender's face mask and it'd have been a pick six. All right, let's move on to your boys here with your guy Vanellatron just making an unbelievable grab.
He might have the best first and second catch ever in the history of a NFL career.
And I think they call it out here in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, his first one was ridiculous, but this one's pretty fucking good too.
For the field goal only. There's Goff. Oh, he does it again. The rookie Isaac Tesla made a sensational catch last week. Not a touchdown this time.
One-hander, both feet in bounds.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and the one last week was even more ridiculous, honestly. The one last week rivaled the Odell Beckham catch.
Odell Beckham catch, goddamn. All right, let's move it on. Nice grab by Vanellatron there. We're going to finish it up with a grab from Tinsley.
back. Browning, fade ball. One hand. Are you serious? Mitchell Tinsley.
Browning's one of the better backup quarter. I mean, he's had so much time playing with Cincy. He's not Joe Burrow, but I don't think this takes that much of a step back from the Bengals offense with him stepping in and playing. And that was a hell of a catch by Tinsley. I didn't know that he was in bounds until I watched. There was another clip where they showed him get both of his feet in. But
yeah, Browning's good. He was good at Washington. I've liked him for a while. The thing that I didn't like was the Jags. I don't know how they lost that game. They were in control the whole game. That was one of the worst. I'm glad I picked Jacksonville in that one. I'm glad I didn't actually bet that one because I would have been furious. There's no reason they should have ever lost that game. And Shad Khan told me it was forever, and we've already lost the fucking game. So I'm a little pissed off already at him.
Oh man. All right. On that note, let's roll into week 3 picks here. All right. First up, we have the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be Thursday, 8:20 p.m. at Highmark Stadium on Amazon Prime. Over under, and this one is 49.5. Buffalo comes in favored by 11.5.
This line could be 21.5, and I would still be confident. I'm on the Bills. The Dolphins, I think we're going to see some changes there really soon.
Yeah, I know the Dolphins players came out in support of McDaniel, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. There's going to be some changes, and I know they talked about Tyreek possibly staying in Miami. I don't know that he's going to be there much longer either. I think we talked about that a little bit last week, but he may be shipped out to KC sooner than we think. Miami did look a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball. They got some of their speed going. But they're on the road here in a short week against a really good Bills team. I'm with you. I'm going to take Buffalo as well. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Washington Commanders Sunday at 1 p.m. at Northwest Stadium on Fox. Over under is 44.5. Washington comes in favored by 3.5.
Yeah, even if this is Mariota, I think I still like Washington in this one. I just don't buy Geno, and it'll be a short week for them and on the road going all the way across the country. I'm going to take Washington.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if it's Jaden, Vegas's defense is going to struggle to contain him. Even if it's not, I still think the Commanders can come out with a W on this, especially 3.5. So I'm also going to roll with the Commanders. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers Sunday at 1 p.m. at Bank of America Stadium on Fox. Over under is 43.5. Atlanta comes in favored as the road team by 5.5.
Yeah, I really like what Atlanta's been doing this year. Penix is just getting more and more in the groove. And Carolina, I thought we were going to see some progression, but so far it's not been the best. Tetero McMillan's obviously still been good as a rookie, but he can only go so far. I'm going to take the Falcons to cover.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in seeing what Bryce's look like. He started looking pretty good at the end of the year last year, but he's kind of taken a step back. I think the difference here is going to be Atlanta's defense. Atlanta's defense looked pretty good in their win against Minnesota. So I am also going to go Falcons here to win and cover. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns Sunday at 1 p.m. at Huntington Bank Field on Fox. Over under in this one is 42.5. Green Bay comes in favored by 8.5.
This one's kind of a tough one for me. That's a lot of points. Let's go Packers. I don't like it, but
yeah, Green Bay's looked pretty good this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I just don't see them having a problem with Cleveland. So I know it's a little trepidatious for you, but we're going to go Green Bay here as well. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots Sunday at 1 p.m. at Gillette Stadium on CBS. First game on CBS here. Over under is 44.5. Steelers come in favored by 1.5.
Yeah, this is two teams that we've still got a lot of questions on. Seattle took the fucking beating to Pittsburgh. I think I'm going to take the Patriots at home here. I think I like them straight up.
Yeah, I went a little back and forth on this one, but it's a little surprising. Both of these teams are struggling a little bit on the defensive side of the ball when you consider the head coaches here. I think this game is a bit of a toss-up. I just think Pittsburgh maybe has a little bit slightly better offensive weapons. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh here minus the 1.5. Next up, we got a big one. Los Angeles Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday at 1 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field on Fox. Over under 44.5. Philly comes in favored by 3.5.
Yeah, one thing we haven't really talked about yet in that Chiefs game, the tush push. I mean, they've got. I mean, so there. If anyone that watched the second game last night, the Chargers Raiders game, the Chargers went to line up to basically run a tush push because they were backed up into their own end zone to try to get out of it. And the referees stepped in and basically forced the line to line up correctly because they were off. So clearly the NFL is getting the hint of what everyone is bitching about because it was atrocious against the Chiefs. Two guys were false starting. They were all lined up off sides. Like it was a disaster. So I think we're going to see some changes to that. Just something to note. I do think they're going to make them at least have to line up correctly. Now, whether that makes it more stoppable or not, I don't know. But regardless, I like Philly at home in this one, honestly. Rams are in a back-to-back road spot. They went to Tennessee last week and played at 1 o'clock. Now they're going all the way across again to play Philly at 1 o'clock. I think it's just a tough spot for them. I like the Rams overall, but I think Philly's going to win and cover in this one.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to come in looking for a little bit of a revenge from the last game in the playoffs. Stafford's got a number of weapons here to go up against a really solid Philly team. They are looking better week over week. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm actually going to take the Rams here in the points and what I think is going to be a tight one. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans Sunday at 1 p.m. at Nissan Stadium on CBS. Over under on this one is 43.5. Colts come in favored by 3.5.
Two teams that obviously we've got a lot of questions on. We're interesting to see how the season pans out for both of them. I like Cam Ward at home in this one. Can the Colts really be 3-0? I mean, I guess we'll see, but I'm going to take Tennessee at home in this one to get one of those sneaky division wins.
Yeah, Colts have lightning in a bottle right now behind Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor, and all of these guys. I think that bodes well for Indy going up against one of the worst rush defenses in the league right now, and I think that's going to be the difference. So I am going to take the Colts here minus the 3.5. Next up, we have the New York Jets at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Ray J on Fox. Over under is 44.5. Tampa comes in favored by 6.5.
With the Jets, I think Justin Fields is going to be out probably, so it'll probably be Tyrod Taylor, which I think is a disaster. But Tampa's got injuries in itself. I think Tampa will be able to win kind of the war of attrition here with all the injuries. So I like Tampa to get the cover at home.
Yeah, Baker came out of the Houston game, I think, a little banged up, but he should be fine. Rolls back home with a slew of weapons. Evans, Igbuka, Irving. I really like this Tampa team. Jets D's also struggled a bit, so I am also going to take Tampa here minus the points. Next up, we've got a battle of backups. The Cincinnati Bengals at Minnesota Vikings Sunday at 1 p.m. at US Bank Stadium on CBS. Over under in this one is 41.5. Minnesota goes home favored by 3.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. Browning can obviously sling it still. And Wentz is probably a better deep ball thrower, obviously, than McCarthy. So this is an interesting one. I don't know how I should feel about this, to be honest. This is my least knowing game, obviously, with all the quarterback questions. Let's go Cincy getting 3.
Yeah, I'm with you. We just talked about it. I think the switch from Burrow to Browning is a smoother transition than going from McCarthy to Wentz. I think Bengals also have more weapons. Neither one of these teams has a particularly strong defense this year, so we'll see how this game plays out. But I am going to take Cincy here in the points in a backup battle on the road. Next up, we have the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last 1 p.m. game on Sunday at Everbank Stadium on CBS. Over under is 43.5. Jacksonville comes in favored by 1.5.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think Jacksonville, they had that game the whole time in Cincinnati last week. Returning home, the Texans, I don't know if they can run the ball at all. So I'm going to take Jacksonville here at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. Houston just hasn't looked great this year. It starts with not being able to protect CJ Stroud. They also cannot get that run game going. On the flip side, Jags do have a lot of weapons to roll out. They should have won the game last week. So let's go Jacksonville here minus the 1.5. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks Sunday at 4:05 p.m. at Lumen Field on CBS. Over under 41.5. Seattle comes in favored by 7.
Yeah, like I said, impressive showing at Pittsburgh last week. I'm not picking the Saints in any game this year, regardless of the line and regardless of the situation. So I'm on Seattle.
I am taking Seattle as well. They got a big win in Pittsburgh. I like how the run game is looking. Obviously, the Saints has a lot of gaps. So we're going to roll with the Seahawks and the home team here. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday at 4:05 p.m. at SoFi Stadium on CBS. Over/under is 45.5. The Chargers come in favored by 2.5.
I really am starting to like this Charger team more and more with what they're doing. I know Denver obviously just had a tough loss. Now they're going back on the road again. Chargers are on a short week, but I do like the Chargers to win and cover at home here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Denver in this defense. They got to figure it out because this was supposed to be the best defense in the league, especially against Harbaugh in this offense. Bo Nix doesn't look as good as he did last year. Divisional matchup should be a good game. I think it's going to be a tight finish, but I am also going to take the Chargers at home.
And people forget that Denver literally should have lost that game week 1 to Tennessee. Cam Ward had them beat, so they could literally be 0-2
or 0-3. Yeah. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers Sunday at 4:25 at Levi Stadium on Fox. Over/under is 43.5. Niners come in favored by 1.5.
God, I'm going to go the 49ers here. I don't think either one of these teams really are that great, but I like the Niners here at home in the short line.
Yep, I'm with you. I am also going to take the 49ers at home. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Windy City to face off with the Chicago Bears Sunday, 4:25 p.m. at Soldier Field on Fox. Over/under, and this is 50.5. Chicago comes in favored by 1.5.
Yeah, this is one that I can't figure out. I mean, I guess Vegas thinks these teams are more even than I do. When Vegas surprises me, usually the good thing is to go with Vegas. So I'm going to take the Bears -1.5 here.
How did I know you were going to pull some bullshit like that?
This is a Vegas trick game.
I am going with Dallas. I think Chicago's got a lot of problems right now. I liked what Dallas did last week. They're going to have to figure out the defensive side of the ball, but I like Javonte Williams, what he's been able to bring into the rushing attack, and I think they're going to outplay Chicago at home. So I'm going to roll with Dallas and the points. All right, the next game we have here, Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Giants, Sunday, 8:20 p.m. Eastern at MetLife Stadium on NBC. 44.5 is the over/under. KC comes in favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I usually am a Chiefs supporter, but last week with the shirts that they came out wearing in the pregame, I'm kind of glad that they lost that game. That was kind of a disgrace. If you watch our show at all, we kind of talked about it quite a bit last year when it actually happened, but I'm not a big fan of that at all. Going to MetLife here, I think the Chiefs probably will rebound a little bit though and cover the 5.5. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah, they started the year with tough 2-game stretch. They got a little bit of a break here. Maybe it's hard to tell what this Giants team is going to do. Right. Before getting back to the grind, because then next week they're playing Baltimore. Giants just can't seem to get out of their own way. They're going to have to figure out the penalties and all that fun stuff. I am also going to take KC here minus the points. And our Monday Night Football matchup, the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens, Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern at M&T Bank Stadium on ABC and ESPN. Over/under in this one is 51.5. Baltimore comes in favored by 5.5.
Yeah, the Lions went to Baltimore 2 years ago, and we did not fare well at all. I'm hoping that we get a little bit of a different result in this one. I'm going to play wishful thinking here, so I'm going to take the Ravens -5.5 as maybe some reverse psychology here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to flip the reverse psychology on its head. I think the Lions ran it up last week against Benedict and the Bears. I do think this is a different team in Baltimore, obviously. Lamar and Henry are going to be tough to play against. I don't know who's going to win this game. It may come down to a tight finish, but I like having Detroit and 5.5 points. So I'm going to take Detroit plus the 5.5 here to keep it close enough. That is it for our week 3 matchups. We are going to roll into our locks of the week. Jake.
We just talked about it. I'll take the Ravens -5.5.
All right. You're going against your team. I'm going with my team. Dallas was at 2.5. Now they're at 1.5, but I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys against the Chicago Bears. Let's hear it. Who's the dog?
So, unfortunately, Carter, the Colts are going to Tennessee. I have Tennessee winning at home and Cam Ward plus 152.
Not a bad pick at all here. I am going to roll with the Los Angeles Rams on the road to Philadelphia plus 148. And we just got a text message from Carter saying the lollipop, LOL. So he's still, I think he's catching up to the NCAA game. That is it for us for week 3. We will be back with you guys next week for week 4. As always, please like, share, subscribe. If you did not listen to us live, check us out when you can. Share it after you're done. We appreciate you guys listening. As always, for Jacob Workman, this is Reese Downing, TNT Tuesday Night Touchdown Podcast, NFL Edition, Week 3. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah, let's give an eat 'em up Lions, eat 'em up for a big Monday night game.
Eat 'em up, Lions. Eat 'em up.